Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. This is my take two. By the way, this title this week is Creating Relationship to Thrive, and you can actually replace relationship by any words. You can say success, you can say health, you can say business, more abundance. It's really the same recipe. And so, what I'm going to share tonight is actually one of the biggest breakthrough that I've had in my life. And so, instead of watching it about my story, I suggest that you watch it about you because that's the best way to create a breakthrough. That's why you're watching. That's why you're spending the time with me. So I'll tell you the story about how I created the most amazing, meaningful relationship in my life, and it is my goddess. And it happened maybe, I don't know, a month ago. And the thing is, when they say you know that you know, I know. And here's what happened because I was very close not to have it. This is why I say creating relationship. And that's why you can say creating business, you can say creating abundance, you can say creating health. So what's happening in our mind is that most of the time we have thoughts, we have emotions, and all of these things are familiar. And they're just habitual, but they're not really who we are. So when I was with my beautiful goddess, we had, at that point, few days together, and we had an amazing connection. And then we decided to go a little bit deeper. And so I invited her where I was. I was in Estonia at the moment, at that time, at the moment. I feel like I'm in Estonia right now. So we were together, and then we decided to have some sort of a beautiful kind of ceremony, just asking ourselves deep questions. And so what we did is that we started the ceremony. It was actually with mushroom. And and what I don't even know why I say mushroom like solo. We work with mushroom, but the thing is, it's a plant medicine. And so the intention that my goddess had at this point was I'd like to have connection, and I'd like to have truth. And I know that when she said truth, it really meant I want to know everything about you because maybe I'm not so sure. Let's find out. And in my mind, that's how I heard it, and I was okay with it. I said, okay, so my intention for what we're gonna go through tonight is to have love. And at one point, I started to ask some questions, and they were deep questions, and I saw her really drifting away, like in her emotion. So again, remember, watch this about you, about anything that you might do in your life. So I was looking at the person. This person, to me, felt that it was some sort of a rejection or an abandonment because I felt the energy, and she even voiced it. At one point, she said, "You know what? It's a little bit too deep, and I'm not sure I should stay. I think I should probably go." But she stayed. And I remember, this is the crux of the whole thing, is that I still remember when I was watching this, watching my emotion, watching my familiar emotions and the reaction would be, oh, you're rejecting me? Well, I'm good. I don't need you. Because I've had a history of that in my life, which I've dealt with, which I call the source code. I've uncovered what was running me most of the time. It's so habitual. It's a program. It goes from A to B instantly. And so I saw that, I witnessed that. That's why I'm so grateful that I've done the inner work. And as I saw this fork, I realized, well, okay, so I feel uncomfortable. Part of me, I'm seeing it, wants to leave and say, well, all right, then we're good. But I knew that I wasn't my possibility. And here's why it's so important. The possibility for me means, who am I? Because I firmly believe that who we are is a choice. If it's not a choice, it means that it's just you're being run by your source code. You don't even know. But my possibility for me was I am the possibility of fearless freedom, radical self-expression, and moving power. And I help to create that possibility with anyone, anywhere, anytime, from love, compassion, and thanks to my goddess, now love. So I'm seeing this, okay, I see the rejection happening. I see all my thoughts and feelings. I see that, but then I'm remembering my possibility, fearless freedom, radical self-expression, moving power. And I know that if I retract, if I am being my old self, if I'm trusting this emotion and that are familiar and those thoughts that are not real, then I'm not my possibility. So I decided, I'm going to go into the unknown. It's very scary for me. I don't know what's going to happen. I might be rejected in a few minutes from now, in an hour from now. I don't know. But what I'm going to choose to be and it's very important, who you need to be in order to create your possibility. Relationship, love, anything in your life. Who do you need to become? So I decided I'm going to become my possibility. And I held a space for my goddess for at least an hour. And it was not easy. So imagine, like, you have your old self that's like, I want to go. It's not so good. See, it's not going to go anywhere. She's not opening. She's kind of, see, like her facial expression is so detached and her vibration is out. Like, don't you see it? That's what could have occurred in my mind. And it did. But at the time that I decided to be my possibility, I said, no, I'm not listening to this thought. I'm not going to be that. I'm going to be my possibility. And I held a space. And a miracle happened, because by holding the space and coming from love and compassion, I was not judging. I was looking at my judgment, but I'm thinking, well, maybe this human being needs some love. Maybe I just need to hold the space. It's not about me anymore. And even if she would reject me, it would never be about me unless I choose to be it about me. So I was trained by that, and I'm so glad I have done the inner work. This is why it's so crucial to invest in ourselves, because now what I've manifested is the most important woman I've ever had in my life on all levels. And that's why at that moment when I was at the fork and I was just so very, very close to say, you know what, it's too scary. I'm just, and I have chills when I say that, I'm going to go. But I decided to continue. I decided to be my possibility. So that's why I say creating relationship to thrive, or you can say creating something to thrive. It's a creation. It's a choice. It's really conscious. And so that's what I did. And I know that everyone can do that in all spheres of your life. It's just a matter of really choosing, who do I need to be? And first, before anything, it's, who am I? Who am I being right now? Well, I'm being scared. I'm being judgmental. I'm being afraid. I'm being fearful to be abandoned. I'm feeling all of the above. And then, but you recognize that and you say, who do I need to be? And my choice was, I'm going to be fearless freedom, because I don't think that there's any more better possibility than being free and fearless. That means that when you see fear, instead of, bouncing back to bondage, you're like, no, I'm going to cross that line. And on the other side, there's freedom. And what I mean by fearless, radical self-expression is when I feel that I'm just about to say something, but I'm fearful to say it because I might see that the other person react, or I might be rejected, and I want to withhold the information. I'm like, no. I'm radically self-expressed. And that's why I say that it's coming from love and compassion. From that being, then I can say anything. And if the person doesn't like it, that means that, well, they have their own paradigms, and they might wake up one day and realize that I was really coming from love and compassion. And it did happen in the past for me, that people say, I've never really understood, but I do now. So now, what's your possibility? What's the possibility that makes a lot of sense for you, that makes your heart come alive? The third one for me was moving power. And what I mean by that is that there is always a possibility to create something from nothing. It could be an idea. It could be anything. But when you have an idea, you don't know yet how to do it. So you're creating something from nothing. There's never an excuse. There's no thoughts and emotion. Most of us have thoughts and excuses of the past, and that's okay when you recognize it, but then you always have a choice. And you can choose to be powerful, which is to create. And if you do it from love and compassion, anything is possible. So, what's your possibility? What would you like to create? And from that, make a choice. If you ever see that you have a threat to your possibility, you can be your possibility anytime. And what I promise is that you're going to create miracles in your life. It did happen for me in relationship, and even lately when I saw my fear showing up in business. And I decided to be fearless freedom, radical self-expression, and moving power. So if you want to further develop that, or if you want to have a conversation, chat with me, send me a text. Let's have a conversation, because I know and I promise that any time that you're investing into yourself, that's going to pay off. It might take a little while, but it will pay off. I'm the best example of that. I'm sending you so much love. I hope that you watch this video about yourself. And if not, then go back, re-watch it, Really ask yourself, who am I being? Who do I need to be for my possibility to exist? You can do that. And if you want to further develop it, let's connect. Let's have a conversation and transform your life. I love you guys.